Hey, yo, now it's starting to get a little bit weird. Devin Haney says he's taking a year off. All right, fine. But when he comes back, Devin Haney says he will be competing in whatever weight class he chooses, and he's not fighting in a particular weight class no more after Ryan Garcia is suspended. Weird stuff, but let me talk about it. In a brand new tweet, Devin Haney says, "I'll be back in 1 year. I had all the belts already. From now on, I'm fighting at whatever weight I choose, no longer fighting in weight classes." What the f? This stance is beyond bizarre. So the timing is obviously weird. Ryan got punished. Your team pushed for Ryan to get punished. You guys sound like you're happy with his punishment. Ryan's out the way. He has to sit out for a year. You got him. You got the bad guy, right? So why does Devin Haney need to sit out for a year if he's undefeated and he feels great and he feels he did good in the fight and he only lost because Ryan cheated? Because like I said from the beginning, Devin needs to take about a year off because he was battered by Ryan Garcia. This is how it played out, people. The fight was what it was. There were mistakes made. You can try to blame it all on Ryan and Osterring, but there were other elements like leaky defense, underestimation. You have to take some accountability, but it doesn't seem like the Haneys want to do that. So whatever. I think it's wise to take a year off, but the point I'm making is, according to the Haneyaks and Devin Haney, he's undefeated and he feels great and he only lost because Ryan cheated. So under that pretense, why take a year off? But whatever. More interestingly is, from now on, I'm fighting at whatever weight I choose. No longer am I fighting in weight classes. This loss has totally affected Devin Haney in a negative way, I want to say. He is completely crashing out. Who does he think he is? Now all of a sudden, coming off of your worst career performance, a fight where on a technicality, because the reason I say a technicality is because the fight happened, we watched the fight, and the fight is now overturned, and I've made videos about it, but nothing about you being undefeated has anything to do with you particularly. It actually has something to do with Ryan. So fair play. But the point I'm making is, Devin being undefeated is really a technicality because he's undefeated by and because of choices made by Ryan Garcia to have whatever in his system. That's not something you can control. So, for example, you fought all these other fights, 30 other fights or whatnot, and these other people didn't test positive. So you can't control, just like I said, when you practice stoicism, you got to work on the internal. So nothing Devin did was victory. Something Ryan did forced the fight to be overturned. The commission ruled. I ain't got no beef with that. But let's be clear, it wasn't because of Devin's performance or, his skill set was shown and he showed levels and showed the stuff that him and his team talked about before the fight. You basically got off on a technicality. For example, there could be, let's say Scarface. Scarface goes to court and then the feds illegally searched his property without a search warrant. They illegally bugged his phone without the proper paperwork or an expired you know, because you have to get those bugs renewed. Like when you try to bug like the mafia's house or whatnot, you got to get it renewed through the courts and stuff. So let's say they did some of these things and made some mistakes, the detectives, the feds, and they made these mistakes somewhere in persecuting Scarface. So Scarface could walk as a free man, but the world at large knows that Scarface or Nino Brown is not in fact innocent, but again got out on a technicality because the police didn't do their job. So that could be a very comparable analogy to what happened here. Ryan had some banned substance in his system. He's claiming he doesn't know how it got there. Most people who cheat, fair play, do say that and say they don't know how it got there, but it literally has nothing to do with the overall perception. The people know that Nino Brown and Scarface actually did it, but because of sloppy paperwork or whatnot from the cops or the feds, they were able to get off and walk, which does happen in our legal system and judicial system. So I find it a bit weird. Devin Haney, he took to his Instagram and posted a video of him changing his record back to undefeated. He's doing videos where he's at a bowling alley and he's dancing and he's seemingly jovial and it's a joyous occasion. I'm not saying that personally you couldn't be happy about it, but this whole big celebration like you beat a murder beef like Snoop Dogg or something and acting like you won a Grammy over this, it looks kind of weird. From my perspective, it looks kind of weird, especially claiming his team kind of claims to be street dudes and his dad said he deep in the streets still 50-0. It looks a bit weird that you're celebrating somebody getting pinched and locked up. Furthermore, when anybody cheats, it makes the sport of boxing look dumb, and it's truly a black eye for the sport of boxing, in my opinion. So I told you, Haney Garcia is a fight that really shouldn't have happened, wasn't ready to happen, and then now with all of the soap opera and the drama after it, I just further feel that this was what I said, a lose-lose fight for Devin Haney and kind of a win-win situation for Ryan Garcia. Just look in the comment section. People are still, you know, they're angry with Devin Haney, how his team's acting. Some people believe that Ryan was set up. It's just, this whole thing is a mess. Some people are on this side, some people are on that side. This is pretty much, I don't think I could have been any more right. But as far as Devin Haney, you got to decide if you want to continue your career. And it sounds like he's going to, but he sounds very mentally like damaged from this, like on some PTSD stuff. Talking about I'll be back in a year and I'm no longer fighting in weight classes. What gives you the right? You're not the first fighter where somebody has cheated to get in the ring with them, right? Wilder believes that people cheated. Some people cheated in the fight. You know, in those fights, like Povetkin, it was discovered beforehand. Luck of the draw. You're in a sport like this that's competitive. Some people try to cheat. You have to have a strong team and better precautions. And I told you guys, before the fight even happened, before Damaged Haney took all them punches and stuff like that, I said they should cancel this fight. And it's so funny to see the Haneyacks act like I said something that wasn't valid. And it's very clear that that's not the case. Everything I say is still actually is relevant, if you will. This fight absolutely should have been canceled, and then both careers wouldn't be in the position that they're in, point blank period. And the Haneyacks, they can say whatever they want, but that's just the cold hard truth. But for Devin Haney to now be on some, since this happened to me, this sounds like boxing Karen stuff. I always tell you boxing Karen, but to say like, since this has happened to me, then I'm making my own rules and I'm fighting in whatever weight class. And notice the Haneyacks, they're still talking about Ryan Garcia. For me, I told you, I'm going to let the commission do their job and assess the punishment and penalty. I told you Ryan would be punished, and he got that. He got what he deserved. He got, they said, a year, 1.1 million scrutiny. You got the win overturned. So now it's like the fight never happened. So Ryan's out of here. What more do you need me to say about something so obvious? He's can't fight. Why do I need to talk about Ryan punishment and Ryan cheated? He got his punishment, right? That's like me overly talking about somebody who got 5-10 years in prison. Like, they got their sentence. It's over. But for Devin, he's the one that didn't commit the foul. He didn't have the Osterine in his system. So we're talking about his career. Top Rank just won the purse bid for the Sandor Martin fight. And it looks like he's going to vacate when he's talking like this, saying from now on, I'm fighting at whatever weight class I choose. Sounds very emotional, and it sounds very illogical. Like, now you're bigger than boxing because you were cheated. You're not the first person that's been cheated. You're not Canelo in terms of a star or Gervonta Davis, and it sounds like you want to make up your weight class. The other thing is, you have these weight stigmas about your career as well. That's why it all looks very hypocritical, where like you came in 25 pounds bigger than Regis Prograis. So that's another reason why it looks bad. You're talking about weight. Like, the only thing that really, to me, the Haney should be talking about is the PED. But their attorney was pushing paperwork to the commission, talking about Ryan cheated with the weight. The Haney-acs and Devin Haney keep talking about Ryan and weight. Listen, I went over this several times. He missed the initial weight. Shame on him. You had a choice. You and your team and his team renegotiated, created new terms. It's it. So the weight is out of the question. Like, him coming in 3.2 pounds, people keep adding, oh, he missed the weight on purpose. Whether he missed the weight on purpose, if he missed it on accident, whatever, you renegotiated new terms, so that's your bad. But again, there's no accountability with the Haneys. They want sympathy from everybody, regarding this situation. Now, if you want sympathy for the PED testing and cheating, fine, fair play, because no one should be on a illegal substance that gives them any kind of unnatural advantage. I'm with that. But, this whole I'm fighting at whatever weight class, we'll see. We'll see how the fans embrace it. Let me know what you guys think. Devin Haney says he's going to pick and choose whatever weight class he wants. So now I guess because he was cheated, he's bigger than the belts, he's bigger than boxing, and he's going to make up his own weight classes. Again, the Haney-act platforms and content creators, they're not talking about this, but this is very startling that a person in Devin's position is saying they're taking a year off and they're making up their own rules in terms of where they fight, and they don't care. But another thing that's weird about that is Ryan Garcia wronged you. So that doesn't have anything to do with Sandor Martin or Gary Antoine Russell or Albert Puello or Gervonta Davis or anybody else. These people didn't test positive for Osterine in their system, right? So how are you going to have this generic rule of I fight at whatever weight I want when the only person that did something has already been punished by the New York State Athletic Commission? But now you think because it happened to you that you're paranoid and gonna just fight at whatever weight class? Bizarre stuff, people.